Good afternoon, Free Enterprise. The group stages of the Adamant Cup may be winding up. These matches just keep heating up. My name is Stoppable Force. I'm joined in the booth today by Commander Leonhard on commentary, Neobari restreaming, and Warlank doing tracking. And we're here for the Dragoon Helm play-in match between microKorgs and Rexbanner. Commander, how are you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing good, Stoppable. How are you?
Not too bad. Just very excited to see this game. This Dragoon Helm has been a fantastic group to watch. microKorgs most recently coming off a loss to Dusty Grip for the first place play-in. How did Rexbanner fare getting here?
Well, his match was within the last 24 hours, so can't talk too much about that. No spoilers, but somehow Rex has made it here in third place and is going to face off against microKorgs. The winner will get to move on to face Infinius in the first round of the brackets.
Yeah, it is a complete mystery how they got here. That side of the bracket's already looking strong, and these two will fit right in, whoever gets there. So, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. I mean, the level of play over the tournaments since I started back around Football Gauntlet it keeps going up and up. People keep rising to the top to challenge the champions, and the people that are making it just into the round of 32 just keep getting better and better.
Yeah, there is no doubt that the level of skill keeps going up, but I don't think we can say today that either of these runners has an edge over the other one, because it looks like both our runners are starting with an edge today.
A double-edged start. And it's a decent set of objectives. We have the dreaded Masamune altar. It's a rough spot no matter who gets there, and Alt Gauntlet there is a fan favorite without a doubt. We have to take care of the Baron Basement Throne as well as liberate Baron Castle, so we've got a twofer there. We're going to have to run the hook route to launch the Falcon. We've got to take out that super cannon. We will have to run the Giant of Babil, and we also have to run down a package and burn down the village.
Yeah, this is a nice selection of quests. It's going to take our runners pretty much everywhere, doing a little bit of everything. We got moon altars, we got a hook route that they have to run whether they want to or not. It'll be interesting to see. I think this race might give us a lot of actual variance in routing, especially with that edge start, because edge starting higher level and some of your other characters, like maybe your Palams or your Canes, means you can sometimes take on things in a little bit of an unorthodox order, depending on what key items you get early.
Yeah, definitely, and it opens up a lot of loot options too, so that oftentimes has been the biggest variance between two runners, as much as routing is where they go to loot. And these objectives, I think, are going to give both our runners some wonderful chances to show off even more what they're capable of.
Yeah, we've definitely seen. So here's a Karate Man joining joining Edge, and a second Karate Man handing them the key to the Luca Cave in the
I wonder if Edge has a claw to start. We could have some sort of strange Spider-Man meme with them all wearing claws.
Well, I guess we'll find out soon. With the Sea-Neki flag on, our characters will start with a weapon, not necessarily a good weapon, not necessarily the one they started with, although sometimes you can luck out.
Yeah, nothing like going into Edge's menu and seeing that he has a Charm Claw.
And here we see some divergence right away. microKorgs heading to Troya Castle to talk to Edward to get a free key item, because we do have free key items turned on for this, even if we don't have free characters. And Rexbanner taking advantage of the higher tier loot to find Eblan Castle, which has just been a great place for runners all throughout this tournament.
Yeah, fading Eblan completely. Oh, hello, Full Moon. As I was saying, fading Eblan completely is a call few people have been willing to make. It's more been a question of when do you go there. Are you trying to do what Rex is doing and just go for the untrapped chests and come back later? Or are you going to put it off until you can clear the entire place out?
Yeah, I know I personally love getting the trap chests in here, and the early loot is great. The trapped loot is late. Eblan has really been shown off a lot in this. On Korgs' side, we saw that somehow Edward managed to hand over an entire suit of crystal armor. I think he might be faking it there a bit. But no freaky item after all.
Oh, Edward, you're so dramatic.
Oh no, I can't go on this quest. Please take this entire suit of armor.
There was a Thunderclaw for microKorgs in the open treasury in Troria. That's a very big pickup. Even if he started with one, he's got two people that can make use of it.
Yep, and finding poison claws for sale in Troia, so some nice gear for Yang at least. And Edge appears to have started with a middle sword, so not his worst armaments, but not his best.
Rex gonna head over to Troia now, at least gonna get that lovely suit of crystal armor, which you enjoy selling so that you can actually afford some things.
Yeah, it's a good Kickstarter for items like these silk webs and star veils that we found in the Troia item shops. That's a really good thing for our runners to, if not pick up some now, at least remember where they are.
Yeah, the starter kit being used for this flag set will sometimes drop you with 2, maybe 3 star veils, which is not enough for you to be very liberal in their use. So having a few more is nice, and that silk web completely changes a lot of times how their Zeronis fight goes.
Yep, it can even slow down. Like if we have to take this hook route early, it can help make the Rubicon spot a little better if our anchoring situation is kind of wonky.
and sure enough, Yang does have a Thunderclaw. The microKorgs is going to go with double poison for now. Probably switch to Thunder if he finds a Thunder weak boss. Like, oh hey, hi Odin.
Like Odin. Oh, no, we're gonna let Edge handle it. Edge can do thunder punching today. Yang is on knocking Rydia over duty, apparently.
Yeah, well. Let Rydia hit things, or blark things, or just let people do things.
Yeah, apparently, microKorgs opting to let Rydia anchor things like the rest of the team.
Anchoring is not a thing.
Certainly doesn't have to be. We've seen some between the max party size of 4 and the freely available adamant armors. We've seen a lot more runners than you would expect taking the unusual option of fast anchoring, which you don't get to see all the time and requires a certain modicum of skill. So it's been nice to see that get shown off too.
I do enjoy fast anchoring. I freely acknowledge there's times where it just won't get the job done, and it's nice to have a cursed ring. But it's more useful than I think a lot of people give it credit for.
Yeah, and sometimes you just want to go fast. Sometimes the sea just rains adamant armors on you, and you want to suit everybody up, and who can blame you? Looks like microKorgs going to check out another key item check here in the Antlion Cave while Rexbanner is raising his hovercraft. We'll need it eventually because we'll have to get underground. So just going ahead and getting that little bit of time out of the way. Oh, microKorgs finding a free boss in the Antlion Cave. Not where you want to see these two.
I mean, this is great for us on the outside because we don't have to worry about being let down by King Queen Evelyn being at the Masamune altar or in the Giant. But you know that's what our runners were hoping to see.
Yeah, our runners would love to find a free boss in that 65,000 hit point spot where the elements usually hang out. microKorgs finding the Twin Harp in Antlion Cave.
Music.
We've seen a lot of music this tournament, and that's nice.
Yeah, with 7 out of 7 objectives being necessary, and all of them being of the new tough quest type, where they're not things that show up immediately, like unlock the Baron Sewer or rescue the hostage from Hobbs, you end up very close to a full clear, and that means that music, more often than not, ends up being checked sooner or later by at least one runner.
Yeah, we've seen a good number of 17 out of 17 key item seeds, and that's been, for people who really like seeing the full game get explored instead of just a sliver of it, this has been a treat, I'm sure. Rexbanner diving into Antlion Cave now to get his Twin Harp very soon, and microKorgs doing a little shopping here in Fabul. I blanked on the name Fabul, and then probably going to defend it from whoever's attacking it today.
It's alright, I still try and call Mount Ordeals, and I have no idea why. Rexbanner did loot a little bit less than Antlion, looking for speed in a lower value location. means he doesn't have that dwarf axe that microKorgs picked up, which could come in handy later to back row a Dragoon.
Yep, you can back row a Kane, a Sid, or a Cecil in a pinch. It can also be used to help make Sid an even better agility anchor if needed. But he does have that full moon on his edge, so his edge is back rowed, which is nice. Although his animation is a little slow. Fabul being attacked by a CPU and a pair of orbs today. A trio of orbs, rather. Chat saying Rex did get the dwarf axe, so dwarf axes for everyone.
Yay, dwarf axes.
Rexbanner also finding a light sword, lightsaber, a decent holy sword for a paladin that we might turn up. It's no crystal sword or Excalibur, but it's a good Cecil starter weapon.
Yeah, also makes a legitimate dart if you end up finding better, which often happens. A couple of things that are going to change once we move on to brackets. We're going to go from T Wildish to T Pro, and that's going to taper down the loot involved considerably. But we're also going to put in a new glitch, or rather take one away, G back row. If you want somebody to deal full melee damage from the back row, they're going to have to keep a long-range weapon equipped.
Yeah, I think that's going to be an interesting change to see how our runners deal around the fact that we're only going to be able to keep, say, Edge, who is strong but not necessarily the toughest character. If they have to keep him either equipped with a full moon and slow down an animation, or put him up front and risk him taking hits to his fragile ninja body. microKorgs finishing for Bull and finding the magma key, so there's an underground route for us.
Yep, so Launch the Falcon, not going to be quite as scary. Ogo at Ruby is one thing. When you only have experience from the overworld, it's quite another thing when you're at Z levels and just storming in to finish the seed.
That's true. Rexbanner finishing up in the Baron Inn, meanwhile, finding I confess I don't know which twin that is off the top of my head, but also finding a spoon, which top tier armament for our spoony bard if we find him somewhere. Or again, a fantastic dart.
And our twin is Palom, our black mage. And yes, and that's one flag that won't be going away when we move to brackets. We can still have our adamant spoon word wreaking havoc.
Yeah, somebody took pity on Edward and figured if he can step up and be the star of the show, because as I remember, bracket flags also take out Cecil and Fusoya entirely.
You are correct.
Which will really alter party makeups, I suspect. We'll probably see a few more mages and obviously a lot fewer paladins and old moon mops.
Oh, curse string for Rex going up ordeals.
I love it. That maybe incentivizes him to keep somebody on the floor less often, because if he does need to anchor somebody, he's got the one-stop anchoring situation ready to go.
Yeah, there are several characters that can go to Zeromus levels and still keep their party at RA1 with a curse ring on. I'm a big fan of Palom for that sort of role because his wisdom growth, especially with the right gear on, is so impressive that even with the penalty from a curse ring, he can still contribute to a party in that role.
Yeah, that's honestly even better than just having someone to hold down the floor, is having someone who can still chip in here. Rexbanner heading up now ordeals. Going to run through 3 bosses here. The first one is Dr. Blue Gay, who with the HP from this spot split across three enemies. Not even remotely a threat. Dr. Blue Gay doesn't even get to do his speech.
And yes, as Xenocat is pointing out, Palom has the ability to use Bluff to raise his wisdom in battle. I believe it's 15 per use, so with 1 Bluff, he's negated that part of the curse ring's penalty.
It's like Palom just pulls Stardust wands out of his pocket and just holds them all.
Grows an extra arm, it holds a Stardust rod. Grows an extra arm, it holds a Stardust rod.
Oh no, he's some kind of weird mage mutant. So here we are, Pale Dim in spot 2. Not too bad. Pale Dim, one of the lesser threatening moon bosses most of the time. A quick dart and then Edge explodes, and that gets them through the dragon. Meanwhile, Korg's going underground with that magma key that he got from Fabul.
Yeah, Rex has no time to put up with his back attack fight, and this dragon that likes to go pew 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 pew. One quick dart of a light sword and a kamikaze, no crumble, just the ruthless efficiency.
It's true. Rex has places to be, things to do, and hopefully key items to find. Finds the package, so ordeals is required today. And inside the mirror room finds another lunar sparkle, so we're knocking two of them out of the way right here. And it's the wyvern.
Are we good? Are we good?
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
We're good.
Edge
We're on the overworld. Edge is a speedy boy.
Korg's diving underground, gonna head straight over to Dwarf Castle, probably do some shopping. Maybe check out some treasure chests, although I can't imagine he'll go all the way up the tower for the contents of those.
Yeah, once or twice somebody wants to loot this place when they're underground, but I agree. I don't think I'd see microKorgs completely raiding it. Quick shop check.
It's a lot of walking and not a lot of treasure, but if you get here early enough, if they like to hand you a starting bag with you, then yeah, this is a decent enough place to go. 2 sets of silver armor in the basement, so the dwarves just storing that stuff anywhere they can stick it.
See a dragon whip? Nope, it's sold.
Aw, but we could have paired it with this heroin robe. All regrets.
Rydia will not be hitting things.
See, we could have had Rydia hitting things. The heroin robe was right there, Korgs.
Heroin robe, dragon whip, find some sirens in another shop, and you've got a really quick grind set up.
Alrighty, yeah, Korg's making his tour of the underground. Let's see where Rex goes with his package. Maybe gonna go test it out right away. This is an unorthodox flight path. Yeah, Rexbanner gonna see if he can find somebody interesting in Village Mist. microKorgs is checking the job dwarf in Tomer Forest, and he's a motorcycle mechanic.
Not many places to go with these motorcycles, but better than a door-to-door salesman.
I was gonna say Tomer's kind of walled off, if I remember. Where's he gonna ride to? Rexbanner unleashing a package full of Valvalises and finding a Fusoya in the Village Mist. I'll be curious to see if he sits through the remaining cutscene and boss to get this Fusoya for his party.
We've seen a lot of these full clear seeds go back and forth with one runner and then another gaining advantage, but Rex picking up a big advantage with this early food.
First he has to sit through this mop, summoning a Titan. Always makes me laugh that his job class here is mop. So yeah, for somebody like Fusoya or Cecil, maybe you sit through this cutscene that's coming up here. Korg's now marching down the Fey March. Probably gonna loot some of the easier chests down here, not taking a risk on the trap one yet. And maybe check who our king and queen are today. Maybe we can find another free or free-ish fight.
Yeah, they're not objectives, but K-Summon is on. Spots are not as likely as main spots hold key objectives. Key items, rather, but it's still a possibility. So, if it's an easy fight, it's worth a look. Oh, hello, inventory boss.
Yeah, simple sword will take care of that. It looks like Korgs has bought several stacks of life potions. Rexbanner is, in fact, in Kaipo now, going to go through that extra nighttime cutscene, and a very easy boss to add a mop to his party. Cannot blame him. Bacchus is for sale here in the Fey March for runners who end up with a Berserker party, which has been quite a lot of them.
Yeah, just the benefits of the T Wildish, and it becomes very easy to equip your melee characters.
And here's all 4 elements marching into the inn in the middle of the night. Rex just taking them out by dealing enough damage to Mylon Z.
Yeah.
Love to see it. And as a runner, that is not bad at all, because that's definitely a good spot to see the elements, who can be kind of obnoxious bosses for their hit point total. Over on Korgs' side, he does find one free-ish fight, except they're in a spot where they're going to be very punchy. The Dark Imps are occupying the King of Summon Monster spot, which means they're going to have maxed out attack. Maybe come back later with an hourglass and just knock that fight over for an easy DM check. Easy in quotes.
Yeah, I would definitely want an hourglass, and I would still, even at low battle speed, be expecting 3 very rude punches. And if one of those happened to hit my hourglass wielder and put them on the floor, suddenly this fight isn't so free anymore.
Yeah, it's it could be kind of tough. You definitely want some bodies who can maybe withstand a punch or two. And well, we do have Fusoya here. His HP only goes up as we beat more bosses.
Yep. And learn more spells along the way. microKorgs is gonna use one of those early sirens.
I'm opting to do a little early grind here. Probably wants to get his Palom online. Can't move him there. Looks like he's also leaving Rydia up for the XP, so definitely taking advantage of this. Ooh, this could be tricky though because that siren is not picking up an egg. Uh-oh.
That's a gamble.
Yeah.
So, need to get that second kill shot in quick. Nope. And it looks like Yang might still have a Thunderclaw equipped. Either that or he just doesn't have the levels he needs to contribute yet.
I imagine it's the Thunderclaws. I don't think he's actually touched his Edge's armaments that much yet. On the other side, Rexbanner just finding a Water Hag. Another free boss that we won't see occupying the element spot, so this seed just gets better for us and worse for our runners by the minute.
Second roll on the Grimoire gives us a Leviathan. That's much more impressive.
That'll do it. That's a nice healthy infusion for our Palom. On the other side, Rex beat one boss, and Fusoya picked up an early nuke. So Fusoya now going to put a lot of this overworld into the microwave.
Yes, and that when I think Fusoya, that's generally what I'm thinking. Nuke. Occasionally, like now, all the white mages might be hidden, and you might end up shifting him into that role. But for now, it is time to blast things.
Looks like Rex is going to go check out the harp very early here. Chat is also saying, by the way, that was a Cecil asleep in the bed in Kaipo. So if we find a Sand Ruby, we have a Paladin.
Nice. Forge is not an objective, but it can still be completed to get an Excalibur, and whenever we go back to Castle Evelyn, Tier 8, anything that rolls a Tier 8 in one of those trap chests will either be an Excal, a Crystal Sword, or an Adamant Armor.
Yeah, if you've got a Paladin, then you definitely want to take your shot at those 3 chests, because there's a good chance you can outfit him in style and just turn him into a blender and make a smoothie out of the rest of the seed. Korg's done with his Siren tossing here. He's now checking out his... Well, he's now cursing his Rydia. I assume I'm going to go into the Sylph Cave now. Looks like he might be setting up to take some trap chests. That would be interesting.
Yeah, I agree with that analysis. If Palom has learned Quake, yes, from the Sirens. If you get a good run buffer in and have a RA1 Palom, he can often land that Quake before anyone there gets a chance to react.
Yep, and I did see a Quake on that list, and he's also going to throw the Ninja Hat on Palom for just a little more agility insurance. Nothing to actually boost his wisdom, but base level Quake will probably still take out most of his chests. Rexbanner finding the Dark Elf over here, which means that it's time for one of our more fun randomizations. A giant pool of tunes to substitute for Edward's usual music. So we're going to be quiet now and let you listen to DJ Spoony B's rocking tune of the day.
Good tunes coming to us from Final Fantasy IX.
I love it. And as much as Morpheus in the chat may dislike it, it's like that's a mandatory harp rewarding the tower key required to destroy the super cannon. Over on Korgs' side, though, we had a development while setting up the Sheila 1 check. He also got a rat tail and spiked some decent pickups out of those out of a trap chest.
Yeah, chat, Xenocat in chat letting us know that there was an Excal in one of those chests hitting that tier 8 roll.
Yeah, but conveniently, even in the chest inside the Sylph house, from what I saw. So we have one set of guards on Rexbanner's side in the cave, and now we have the other set of guards in Dwarf Castle 1 spot. So again, rapidly running out of free or free-ish fights, which is making this giant possibly very exciting.
Oh yes. I'm pretty sure that's on both our runners' mind as they're blazing through these checks. It's great that you're powering me up real nice and easy, game, but I know there's something around the corner and I don't like it.
Maybe we can get a turtle today in the elements spot. That's always fun.
Yeah, it could be. That could be fun. Rex is going to take on Fabul now. We know he'll get a Magma Key from that, and once he does get that, he'll probably quickly make his way underground and follow in some of microKorgs' footsteps. We'll see how much of microKorgs' path he duplicates.
Yeah, I have to imagine he was hoping to find his Magma Key elsewhere in the overworld and not have to make multiple trips to Castle Fabul, but sometimes that's just how the rando rolls.
Indeed. I'll be interested. I'm really interested to see what he does when he sees those Dark Imps. Rex has a little bit of a gambler streak in him, and if his Fusoya knows a spell that could one-shot that battle, such as Stone, he might be tempted to slip Fusoya into the center slot and try and land a quick Stone cast and pick up something that he would correctly guess that microKorgs might have hated.
It's certainly worth an attempt if you've got the spells for it. Korg's now finding Valvalis in the second spot at Dwarf Castle, and there's a duplicate Rydia as our character for that spot. So goodbye, second Rydia.
Hello, Vanilla.
I believe I did see Rydia pick up a Sora, which is a decent pickup, but also some other summons not so much, like Imp.
Yeah, and again, we've got Fu. He can do the white mage job, but if you're willing to go with works 100%, 66% of the time, then Fu can be more occupied nuking things.
Yeah, I never liked to rely on Asura, but when it saves you in a pinch, who does it save you?
Speaking of being able to function with a curse ring, Asura is so overpowered that even with a curse ring on, Rydia is capable of full healing the party as long as Greyface doesn't show up.
Yeah, the Val's going down. Just get the red hand here, and I assume we'll have another key item out of Dwarf Castle, and Korgs Commander's next check. Rexbanner got that Magma Key for Fabul, throwing it down the well, and we'll see where he heads off to first.
Meanwhile, as Korgs finishes up Dwarf check with a creepy crawly hand, or is it floating? I don't think anyone's ever decided for sure. We'll get to find out what dwarven jewelry is.
Today, she's wearing an entire slab of the mystical element of adamant around her neck. Dwarves have very interesting taste in jewelry.
I mean, at least it wasn't crystal armor. I don't think you can see her in an entire suit of crystal armor. There's just this pile of very shiny material next to the throne that the king strangely talks to.
Yep. Korg's following up on his freebies here, heading up to talk to Sheila and tell her husband's loafing around in a bed in the underground and find out what she has to give him. Rexbanner, it looks like heading up a tower. He's got that tower key in hand, so I imagine he wants to get that super cannon while he's thinking about it. Do your objectives. Gets a crystal ring out of a random treasure chest, which is really nice item.
2 crystal rings, said. I love crystal rings. I do. +5 to agility, incredible numbers in the accessory slot for both physical and magical defense, and protection from paralyze and from dragons. Oh, I love crystal rings.
All around great item, that is true. Rexbanner going straight to the top first. Going to see who's up in the top of tower spot yet. Since we didn't come down the hook route, we don't honestly know yet, I don't think. Korgs checking Sheila 1 just gets a Stardust Rod. Fantastic news for his Palom, but not another key item. No progress found. But Korg's going to head up now to Mount Ordeals and pick up that tower key for himself, I believe. Or the package, excuse me. Yes, the package.
Tower key is at heart.
Question chat about this launching the Falcon. The half of this tower you come through via the hook route through Cave Evelyn does end in launching the Falcon. The top half ends in the Dr. Luge fight, and then the super cannon is halfway up that you can open the tower key, which is an objective.
Rex going after these alerts, which can work out well with the Thunderclaw equipped, but Edge took the first swing without a Thunderclaw, and so I'm going to take a moment to take on this Naga. It's no threat, just eats up a little bit of time.
Yeah, these alerts don't really summon anything too terrifying unless you kill the eyeball into the Chimera by itself, in which case it starts spamming flame or blaze, one or the other. But it's just a little time consuming, and the odds aren't as great as other places for that trap chest loot you really want. Got some flavor of Mylon sending some flavor of the Alt Gauntlet through the teleporter here.
Yes, we've already seen Water Hag, so we know that it's an Alt Gauntlet at the Ruby spot waiting on the hook route. So, Rex probably gonna wait for a long while before he goes after that. It's gonna be time consuming, and you'd like to handle that as efficiently as possible.
Yep, that means we do have a required Alt Gauntlet somewhere. Oh, Rex, don't get too excited. Blow up Mylon first. His ghasts do not like being leaderless. that will not end well.
Yeah, fortunately there's enough hit points at this spot that one nuke just is not going to get the job done, so we can AoE the ghasts out of existence with Ninja Flame and probably Quake. So he should be safe. He is, however, going away. Nope, second nuke coming.
Yeah, I believe he was scrolling through his list there, and his Fusega doesn't have Quake yet. He got Nuke before Quake. Priorities.
You know?
If I had to pick a spell to learn, I get it.
Well, most people would want Nuke first, but sometimes Quake is what you need.
Korgs over here rapidly chewing through Mount Ordeals. Going to be picking up his package here and fighting his own jerk bird.
Don't expect him to have any more trouble with it than Rex.
Absolutely not.
Nope. There will be no face eating by the ghasts today.
Okay, good. We don't want to set off the murderous zombie murder party. They're fine as long as you take out their DJ. Okay. Wow.
Korg's not even bothering with the Star Veil, just going straight for the swings, and I sweated a little bit when it came out less than 1,000 on the first swing, but all is well.
Yep, just opting to hold A and take out Wyvern before it can do anything there. Pretty nice, especially if he has to conserve his Star Veil for something later, like a Golbez in a nasty spot where he actually has magic power.
Yeah, that limited Star Veil that we brought up earlier. We have a Baron Key at the top of the tower, so objectives keep leading to objectives. Top of tower, not technically an objective, but once you've got the tower key in hand, you're going to check on this anyway, so objective adjacent.
It does just mean Babel is full of value from top to bottom. We've got 2 objectives and a key to 2 more objectives, all in one giant building.
And Rex, as pointed out in chat, is a hook and a darkness from Go Mode.
Well, there's a good chance of getting one of them here. Here's a Dark Knight Cecil in a room where he's not going to do a whole lot of damage. In fact, Rexbanner not even going to let him do his little speech and his waves, just going to knock him over.
There's no time for justice in the super cannon room.
There we go.
Got a moment. I'd like to shout out our tracker, Warlink, for lighting up the buttons and getting these key items organized as they're coming to us in a hurry, and Niavari for handling the restreams and rolling us this very fun seed. Yeah,
this has been a joy to watch, and it is kind of amazing how quickly they're our runners are up to 6 to 7-ish key items apiece, but it's amazing how many of them are the critical ones. So this could get pretty fast here very shortly, depending on what the tower and or the Baron spots drop. But yeah, our behind the scenes people working hard today, give them a follow. Be sure to give these runners a follow. And also my co-commentator, fantastic streamer in his own right. Be sure to give Commander Leonhard a follow too.
Thanks, and go check out Stoppable Force while you're at it too. Also, great person to be working with. Good times to be had.
Sometimes I stream, just not recently.
I feel that. It's been a busy time for me too.
There we go. Rexbanner falling back onto the ship and getting the Sand Ruby for his trouble. So Rex can go back and pick up a Paladin if he wants it. Obviously has more to do here in the Underground first, though, heading straight down to the Fey March. So I guess we're going to get to see what he does with that Dark Imps. Korgs also following up on the package, going to get himself a mop here in Kekla.
Oh. The X-Cal was darted? What we're hearing from Firebird Lover?
I think, I don't know if Rex ended up with one. I know he had a light sword, but then he chucked that light sword away. He may have chucked the X-Cal too. They said those Cecil darts, sometimes you use them, especially on these flag sets, you have some incentive to kind of use them when you find them, because it always seems like you can stumble across another one.
And yeah, that's right. Korgs found his X-Cal in Sylph Cave, and Rexbanner hasn't even been there yet, and might not even chase those trap chests when he does go there.
And a question from chat, did the Eblin trap chests get raided yet? Not yet that we've seen, but our runner's getting to the point where they may go back and handle it soon. Rexbanner's Fusoya just got Quake, and Korgs's will have it soon, I think.
I think Rex might be going for it. This could be walking back for a save.
Yep, this is definitely definitely gonna be a save. Probably gonna put the use some camping gear here and save. Yep, I see Fusoya being set up into hopefully not Medio. That might be a little slow.
No, probably some other things, but as long as you're in here, you're gonna want to organize everything all at once. So get that Quake, get that Medio up to the front for when you need them later.
Move those swag rocks up where we can get a chance to see him this seed. He did move Stone up though, so Rexbanner is definitely following your train of thought. He's probably gonna go attempt to turn those Dark Imps into Dark Imp statues. Yeah,
I'm gonna put Fu on the outside for the RA1 rather than put him in the center for the accuracy boost. Gonna trust in Fu's stats to make the stone land even off center.
Well, we'll see if it pays off. Korgs, meanwhile, heading down into Cave Magnus. We'll be getting his tower key shortly, and we'll be getting a reprise of that wonderful music from Final Fantasy IX. A personal favorite of mine, for sure.
Moment of truth.
Let's go, Fusoya. So you can see the incredible physical power here as one of the imps swings on Yang for over 2,300 damage. Come on, Fusoya. No!
But we see the protection of the back row. Fu takes the hit, but does not land the stone from the outside.
Nope, and then a couple punches and Fusoya's down. Attempts to land a toad with Palom, but Palom gets knocked over and you're left just an Edge who did illusion himself, but he's all by himself. Rex decides discretion is the better part of valor today and leaves the Fey March.
Yeah, one attempt is fine, but you do not want to spend too much time beating your head against this wall, even when you don't, especially when you don't even know if it's required. For those in chat that don't know, any character in the center of the party gets a 25% accuracy boost. This applies to both their weapons and their spells. So the comment about Fu trying to cast from the outside, he wasn't having that accuracy boost. And Stone is pretty notorious for its accuracy issues.
Yeah, it's an iffy spell at best. And Korg's showing off some of the special effects from his stream as we have music here. All right, Korgs has finished up his tour of the cave here, and Rexbanner has decided to play the lottery now that he has his Cecil in his party. Oop, the second reprise. Thank you, Korgs. Rex going to clear out these trap chests and see if he can find Cecil some big hitting sticks or maybe an adamant armor here.
Yeah, at the moment, Cecil's relying on Ogre Axe, which will be convenient for one of these fights, but definitely not what he's hoping for in the long run.
No, definitely not. How about the crystal sword instead of the first trap chest in Evelyn Castle?
You know, Ogre Axes are overrated for Mad Ogres anyway. Let's just go burr.
Yeah, Cecil quit big hitting sticks. Cecil go burr. Cecil turn seed into ribbons.
For one of the last times.
Yeah, we believe we have two more matches today to finish up group stages, and then one later this week. We had one that had to get rescheduled, unfortunately, during break week, but so then we'll be on to the brackets where Cecil's gone.
To respond to Possum in chat, I don't think the Ogres will rate the axe very highly. The 0 out of 10 would not do again.
I don't know. Is anyone tried axing them?
Do you know, they're just mad. They're just gonna go punch and grr and just... It didn't go well.
Yeah, well, I mean, these mad ogres are somehow mages, but they only learned one spell, and it was punch.
Yeah, Ed showing off the power of the Mute Knife, keeping up with Crystal Sword Cecil in terms of damage against these folks.
Finds another crystal ring here. This is going to be a nice, speedy, dragon-proof party here before long. Rex coming out of that with saying, "Yeah, I'm good. I got my crystal sword. I'm off to do pretty much anything I want at this point."
Yeah. Adamant's nice. It'd be cool to have it, but you know, we're not complaining. So no.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you can put a black belt on him for now, and you know that eventually you'll have to have a hook. If you stumble across a pigtail in the meantime, then that's your guaranteed adamant. That's just fine too. But the bulk of Cecil's power is going to come from that crystal sword, so he's fine.
Yeah, Possum bringing up a good point in chat. It's entirely possible that Korgs will be satisfied with his gear and won't go chasing Evelyn and will miss out on the crystal sword. Excal's a solid sword, but it just doesn't quite stand up to a crystal sword.
Yeah, the second best holy sword versus the best holy sword isn't really a competition, unfortunately. Korg's now heading up the Tower of Babel, got his key in hand. Probably going to end up doing both of these bosses, although maybe, hopefully doesn't pull the Penguinator special today. Just doing the super cannon, in which case he would miss out on a mandatory key item.
Yeah, it's full completion. Like, Keyless Tower doesn't see much play on this flag set specifically because runners do not want to double dip anything if they can possibly help it. It's the odds of that you're going to have to come back for it at some point are high enough that you just want to get it done all at once.
Yeah, and it's since it can never come up as an objective, you're basically committing to that long run up the tower just for a single shot at a key item, which, playing the odds, that's not necessarily great odds.
Which makes it so much fun when it's a vanilla tower key and you had to do it anyway.
Oh, I love when keyless tower is the play. I freely admit it is one of the things that I really enjoy about not just this flag set, really any flag set. Good thing Rex thought to pick up that Paladin too, because this Yang wasn't going to be much of a obstacle now, but he's definitely not. He's definitely not with this power here.
Yeah, ouch, or just hit points. It's a tough call.
Say, assuming Cecil just doesn't kill him outright with a crystal sword, then after the second kick, he's not going to live with the second kick. I saw those numbers.
Yeah, second swing by Cecil is if we get. Yep, okay, we will. It was close. Thought Edge might finish the job, but no.
Now Edge still wielding that mute knife. Not sure if there was another weapon that was supposed to replace, but yeah. So gonna liberate Baron Castle first. One of our 2 Baron objectives today.
And Korgs has done some trap fishing of his own on the way up the tower, but did not get the crystal rings that Rexbanner found.
Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate, but I mean, we do know there's some available elsewhere, but Tower of Babel's just swimming in them. Today, Rubicant's sitting on the throne of Baron. We've just rotated our elements around a little bit. Going to try to pull the same crumble skip here if Fusoya doesn't outright kill him. Unfortunately,
I think this.
Fusoya killed him.
Oh, it was close actually. But yeah,
Could have been one low roll away from a crumble skip.
we'll get to see who the character is here. Could be Vanilla. We haven't seen a Sid yet.
I'd say Rosa.
White Mage located.
Yeah, White Mage passed up. I guess he figuring that Fusoya can fill the White Mage role later if he has to.
Yeah, and if you've got enough power, you don't need to heal. We have a Crystal Sword, we have a Ninja that can throw darts if we don't find good Hanzo, and we have nukes from a Lunarian.
Leave him behind a couple
What
statues.
mage? That mage. What mage ground flyer? That mage. That mage over there on second.
That wizard that came from the moon. And the pan at the bottom of Baron. We don't know if it's mandatory, but it could be progress. I imagine Rex going to go back and check out the Odin throne immediately. Yeah, that makes sense. Can I just finish up his Baron objectives while he's here so he doesn't have to come back?
And the other good news about a pan is that we've got 10 key items. To answer chat, does it matter if an anchor is alive or dead? For the battle the anchor's in, no, doesn't matter at all. The main reason to keep an anchor dead is so that they don't get agility by leveling up.
Yep, we do have some flag sets that'll play around with this, such as Sea Hero, where whoever your hero is, they are your agility anchor and they will get XP while dead, but you'll commonly see if someone finds a character that they want explicitly to use as an agility anchor, they'll keep them on the floor to keep them from getting stats. Today on the Odin throne, an evil wall.
In a party without Crystal Sword Cecil in the back row, I might look at this wall and go, this could be rude.
Instead, Cecil just gonna chug a Bacchus and get a blink from Fusoya and handle this pretty much all on his own.
I mean, we're gonna blink in case these have been low rolls, but that wall has been exclusively targeting Cecil and hasn't even taken out a quarter of his hit point total.
Finally swings on someone else and it's Fusoya and still only hits it for 500. Korgs exiting the tower here, cleared the whole thing top to bottom of objectives. Going to be picking up his what did he get from that? Sand Ruby.
Yes.
Get the Sand Ruby soon.
I'm gonna go get Cecil. I didn't catch if Korgs had peeked the character. Since he doesn't have a Cecil, he'll probably go give it a quick look, even if he doesn't.
Yeah, it's not a terribly long check, and you could reset out of it, but nope, looks like Korg's just going to simply opt to head straight to Baron with the party he's got. Take on the objectives here, and make his way through at least the throne, if not the Odin throne yet. Thank you, Xenocat, confirming in chat that while Korgs did do the Kaipo cutscene for Fusoya, he did not peek who's in the Sand Ruby bed.
Doesn't know, but he's got someone waiting to hold that Excalibur.
There's a sleepy paladin you could wake up to make him fight an evil wall. No key item from evil wall today. We had to do it anyway because it's an objective, just a Dragoon shield for our troubles. Decent thing to put onto Cecil if you want to. Gives him resistance to the elements even more. Just make him even tougher.
Should have been a Dragoon Helm!
This is the Dragoon Helm group, but one off. We got the Dragoon shield.
What are you gonna do?
Ask for a refund.
Refund machine broke.
Refund machine's always broke. I think the refund machine is just a McDonald's milkshake machine that we put a new sign on. All right, Rexbanner. Now he's cleared out Baron, gonna hop into town and see what's in the. Do a little inventory management here via selling, and then maybe see what's for sale here at the shops. Which, since they're gated behind that locked door, they do occasionally have some good stuff. Selling
This will be something else that'll be changed up quite a bit, and brackets. In the first place, the loot that will be sold will not be as high quality with the Shift T Pro, but secondly, the S quarter flag will be on. Loot will sell for 1/4 of its value instead of 1/2.
Yeah, you'll definitely be selling Cecil's crystal armor when you find it in brackets, but it won't be bankrolling you for most of a seed like it can do now. Question from chat: the adamant that Korgs found in Dwarf Castle around Luca's neck.
And the character there was a duplicate Rydia.
Just a little dab of it.
Baron guards in the Val?
Yes. The 2-guard Baron fight. Rexbanner following his freebies, diving into Self Cave here to go smack you on with a pan. Since K Summon is on, this could itself be another key item. And if not, it will open up Sheila, the Sheila 2 check, which could again be a key item. So this is a really good little rabbit hole for him to follow up on here.
Korg's not skipping the crumble for Ruby, but putting the time to good use, getting the inventory sorted out a little bit.
Takes the Rosa over the Palom. So divergence in terms of party. Rexbanner finding the Legend Sword. So if we put our 2 runners together, we have a free Excalibur. But neither runner running across both pieces yet.
Korg is about to get the pan, so that'll get him over to the Adamant, though he will probably take care of the basement first, as Rex did. And it's just a question of whether Rex feels like running Dwarf Castle. In a world of full clears, Dwarf Castle often end up being skipped. It's got a cutscene and 2 boss fights, and it's just 1 key item check without the warp glitch on. So we'll just have to see how Rex routes this.
Yeah, honestly, 2 cutscenes if you want to count the boss dancing around at the beginning and the hand slowly crawling.
That's valid.
Alright, Sheila 2 has a Stardust Rod. Oh wait, no, it's Sheila 1, sorry. Rexbanner hadn't done the first one yet. Sheila 2 is a black shirt. Sheila toting around a load of black mage equipment today.
Rex says, you know what? I have mage gear at home. Thanks, Sheila.
Luckily, Rex had left himself a save point here in the underground so he can check the other thing he hasn't followed up on yet, and still can, which is the Luca key. So something good at the bottom of Sealed Cave, presumably.
You disappoint me, Sheila. Like, I have faith in Sheila. I mean, granted, with 2 main checks, this isn't exactly a stunning revelation, but Sheila usually does much better than that.
She usually has some kind of value, but today she just sewed a little outfit for Palom. Yeah, so what would you be doing here, Commander? Since it looks like our options, if you're Rex, are the Sealed Cave or taking on those 2 bosses in the Fey March, I believe.
I like the Sealed Cave look. We're in a situation where there aren't that many aiding items. It could be an Earth Crystal, and even if it's a Womp, when you walk it out, you might still want to rate the treasury for loot, so that's not terrible. If it's Hook or Darkness, we need it, and it's coming with us. If it's Pigtail, we're probably not turning that down either. So this is probably not a case where you walk down here, get something where you're not sure of its value, and go through a long fight or nothing. This is either going to be a whammy and a quick reset, or it's going to be something that's worth walking out. I don't see much in between. And in those situations, I do like a Sealed Cave look.
Yeah, it's Radbon pointing out in chat. We also still have the pass floating around somewhere, which could be very, very nice to save some time at the end of this siege, just because of the number of objectives our runners are going to have to at least go up to the moon, run the hook route, and also destroy the giants. So it's really nice at the end of that to not also have to walk down the moon unless you're routing Masamune last. There's the pigtail.
All right. And yeah, regarding that past discussion, which is now moot, Rex says an adamant armor is not worth my time. Okay.
That's probably fair. Maybe if he already had the hook in hand, but Rex instead, Rex laser focused on progress, knows it has to be behind one of these Fey March bosses now.
So he can save himself that time and move on. But yeah, that pass versus the fight and warping out, It's a close one if you have a kind of rude fight and warping out, and you fight Zeromus exactly once. But if you have a rough dwarf, a rough Z fight due to party comp, and we've seen that happen plenty of times on these flags, then every time you have to fight Zeromus again, that pass is saving you more and more time.
That's all very true. Very good insight. Korg's on his side, finally checking that Sand Ruby, making the same move to yeet the Yang and add a Paladin to his party. As the X-Cal has not gone hunting for a Crystal Sword, but I don't think he'll say no to an X-Cal Cecil today.
Nah, X-Cal Cecil is fine. And even if you don't have a big stick for Cecil, he still has a lot of uses. He learns Exit. Granted, we have a Fu, but sometimes Cecil is your Exit mage. And there are a lot of physical bosses where cover strats can come in handy. We've got those Dark Imps still looming on the Feymarch, and being able to cover with a backroad Cecil could be very useful.
Yeah, this would be a very nice place to, you can always walk around the Feymarch for a little bit and then just heal up Cecil, and then your cover strats are probably online. But looks like Rex going to try maybe the stone strategy again. I see Fusoya chanting a spell. Fusoya miraculously not falling over 2 punches. Lands his stone spell this time. Rex gets through the Dark Imps. Let's see what they got. Korg's on his side, taking on some Sirens, since he did have recently add a low-level Rosa and Cecil to his party, powering them both up at once. And there's the Darkness Crystals. That Dark Imp fight is mandatory.
I'm envisioning an alternate world in which the Evil Wall and the Dark Imps were switched on their objectives.
Oh, that's so rude.
I am a fan of Ground Flyer's Wall.
Yeah, for people who are not familiar, for whatever reason, the Leviathan spot, since it never uses physical attacks, has a maximum physical attack stat. And since we scale bosses based on the spot they're in, anything in that spot inherits Leviathan's monstrous but usually unused physical attack stat, which is why the Dark Imps, normally just a random encounter that happens to be in a boss spot, can swing and knock over edge in one spot. Leviathan scooted over into Asura's spot instead.
And it's also a very fast spot with a lot of hit points, so whatever is there, if it has the boss bit, you're going to have to spend a lot of time whittling through those hit points and taking punches all the way.
Rex looks like he's hoping to once again lean on the power of Crystal Sword Cecil with a Berserk spell on him. Let Fusoya do the healing, and Edge is also here.
I mean, you can just let Cecil go burr. It works well. That's why we're taking the option away in the brackets.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see without him to lean on what happens here. Korgs has now picked up both halves of Forge. Unfortunately, his Cecil already has an X-Cal. Don't know if he would want to sit through the cutscene to get a second one. I think maybe opening up the Pokemon shop would be the best reason to do it, but it's still kind of time consuming. It looks like he's gonna skip it, and I can't blame him.
Yeah, the shop's iffy. You do get the guaranteed dart out of the X-Cal, but that's about it.
Yeah, I would have to feel like I was pretty far ahead in order to want to do that, and I never feel that far ahead in spoilers.
Right? There have been times I've turned in Forge as an objective and said, I don't have time for your shop, I gotta go.
It was an interesting story recently. Oh, there's an Earth Crystal on the Leviathan, so that could be interesting to follow up on. Don't know if anybody... It might rate the treasury, but I think Rex is good on gear. I mean, if you can turn down an adamant armor.
Yeah, you're resetting out of Pinktails. I'm not convinced you're going to go in and check on the treasury, especially since it's not allowed to hit T8.
Yeah, so while Rex is going to Dwarf Castle here, a quick anecdote from group stages that I'll just share. It wasn't restreamed, but I accidentally wandered into Cafe Howdy in Dwarf Castle, which I have never seen before, and accidentally talked to the dwarf in the middle of a race. And I'm sitting there watching him dancing. Please stop moving. I just want to go back to racing. So that's the kind of that's the kind of thing that these runners don't do, and that's why they're in a play-in to get into brackets. Yeah, I thought the dancer in Kaipo was bad.
And chat speculating about, is it time to go Moon or Earth? And I agree with what Rex is doing here. So close to done with Earth, might as well just finish the job. Make sure that when you go, if you don't have your hook down on Earth, you know, you can go up to the Moon and then start full clearing it, comfortable in the knowledge that you're not wasting your time, that your hook is up there somewhere. And also, every little bit of levels and experience you get up here will make the Moon that much easier.
Yeah, I concur. You're this close to done. Just finish the job, and then you know if you're on the Moon. Am I on the Moon for one objective? Am I on the Moon for an objective and one or two key items? Which in this case, it looks like maybe just the hook up there at this point.
Yeah, that's all he needs. The hook so that he can launch the Falcon, and at some point, while he's on the Moon, he's got to get the Masamune altar, and if the hook's not there, and then go run the Giant.
Yep, so just the hook and the pass floating around somewhere. One could be at Zot, other than that, could be on the Moon. Korg's taking on this Leviathan over here. His own Cecil with the Excal taking that Bacchus. Also walling people up for like those Ice 2s, which is something Rex did as well. We did see one Ice 2 bounced back on Leviathan. Every little bit counts.
Not the most brutal Ice 2s we're seeing on the bounce, especially if you've got elemental resistance from the Dragoon shield that Rex equipped. But you take every little bit, and if you don't have to bother healing your party, so much better.
And it will be interesting to see how our runners route now, because they're both coming up to the point where they have the 2 Darkness Crystal objectives, and they also still have the Falcon. It'll be interesting to see who does what first. I guess if we don't get the hook off Zot, they have to do the Darkness ones first.
Right. But that'll be the play. Rex, with a bit of a lead, taking a couple of things out a little more efficiently, getting that Fu and that nuke earlier. But it's still close enough. It could come down to moon routing, it could come down to one ugly Z fight. Anyone's game.
Yep, Korg's getting his Earth Crystal, and then going upstairs to refill on wine. Probably saving again before going back to fight the Dark Imps. Might be saving those Bacchus for later. I don't think I don't suspect he'll go with a more traditional beating the Dark Imps strategy. Yeah, it looks like he's setting up for a good stoning from Fusoya.
Yeah, it's nice to have swinging as a backup in case something goes horribly wrong and Stone refuses to land. But
yep, here's and we see Rex landing outside Droya. Rex is just going to do the Earth Crystal, going to do Zot. I like this play. Not going to rate that treasury today. Does not need it.
yeah, turning down Pink-Tails is not a treasury raider. That's not how that works.
No, I think at best maybe you check the first couple chests here for Flame Dog to see if you can spike one nice thing out of that, and then you just move on to finishing the tower here. Looks like Rex is going to do just that. Find the Protect Ring, decent defensive item. On Korg's side, the Dark Imps go down. Cecil took a little dirt nap there, but now Korgs has his Darkness and Earth Crystals from the Fame Rush.
Korg will probably make the same quick Luca check that Rex did. Whether he chooses to reset the Pink-Tail or not is a question.
I have to imagine he will, but it'll be interesting to see if there's any divergence there as well. Rexbanner checks for the Flame Dog. Nothing. Doesn't find anything on the beaten path. Does not go off the beaten path for further treasure chests. Good speedy technique. Just gonna head up here, take a save, and then see what's waiting in Tower of the Zot first spot.
One more boss that isn't on the moon or the giant, and it is...
Yeah, Lion, what are you doing off the moon?
A little bit of relief to see a big old teething rim bug eye down here instead of up at the Masamune altar.
Yeah, Antlion taking a lot of vacation spots this time, other than just hanging out on the moon like he seems to do in past tournaments. So, uh, yeah, just boxing up his two major physical damage dealers here and throwing a vampire with Fu, since I believe he ate a counter or two. Yeah, even missing a counter there, yeah, this Antlion won't be much of a threat, and it's gone.
Yeah, the magic in this spot isn't too ridiculous. I don't want the Delta attack of the Sisters to completely overwhelm your party at this point in the game.
It always makes me laugh when Antlion misses a counter somehow. So here at Valvalis, or excuse me, here at Zot, we have Valvalis showing us that she would have been a dwarf too if we didn't know that. Can we call that French vanilla Valvalis?
Yeah.
Watching over a extremely vanilla Kane, though.
Yes, the Kane is absolutely vanilla.
And the Sid. Can't imagine Rex will want to alter his party here. Korgs has reached the bottom of Luca, resets out of the pink tail.
Making the same call Rex did.
Yep, I don't believe any of our runners feel they need the crutch of the Adamant armor to lean on.
And neither runner bothering to peek the boss for the info either, which is fair. It's a more high-powered situation. It's not a case of where seeing a boss is going to let you decide, you know what, maybe this moon dive is a little safer. You're going to do your moon dive when you're going to do your moon dive and deal with whatever is there.
Yep, here we have the Dark Elf at the top of the Tower of Zot, and Korg's getting ready to run up the Tower of Zot, so our runners, Korgs runs fast enough, he can high-five Rexbanner on his way out.
And this Dark Elf, might drag things out for us. On the other hand, Crystal Sword.
On the other hand, Crystal Sword. Honestly, the only boss that would slow Cecil down at this point would be something that resists solely, like an Octomam or a Mist Dragon. Those are going to be a slog with Cecil. Maybe you wish you had one of the Ogrex.
Yeah, Mist Dragon in particular, especially if it's at a high enough hit point spot to get a couple of mist changes in.
Oh man, what if it's in the element spot on the giant? That's so much HP.
Edge, it is time for you to shine. Throw the kitchen sink.
Alright, Rexbanner winds up Zot and teleports to Baron, gets his key item. Maybe a key item, and it's just an apple. So we know our hook and our pass are somewhere on the moon.
No two gold apples just sitting around an untrapped chest. Should give me a silver apple for all that work? Come on.
I clear out a whole invisible tower in the sky, and you just hand me a silver apple for my troubles. Sheesh. Yep, Rexbanner launching the big whale, soon heading off to the moon. Is hunting for an objective and one or two items up here. And then we'll probably route through the Giant and the Falcon before finishing things up.
So, how would you route this one?
I think, honestly, since I already need Masamune for an objective, I would probably go bottom up. It's not always the best objective order, but you have to get down there anyway to do it as an objective. And if you're looking for a little more XP, which I don't necessarily know that either of our runners are, the ribbon room is right there.
I completely agree. With one key item, I like to try and go top down in the hopes, normally, of getting out quick. But we're stuck going to this Masamune altar anyway, so I would go to Masamune first, clear it, it doesn't give me the hook, then I'm going to take the ribbon room for the double, and I'm going to go from there.
Yeah, I might try Cave Bahamut first. I always like to do Cave Bahamut first, just so I don't necessarily forget that it's there when I'm leaving, perhaps.
That's
Rexbanner checking the lunar altar, see who's hanging out up here today. Can't imagine we'll take them. Unless this is, I don't know, some kind of duplicate Cecil. Still not even then, probably.
Can't be a duplicate Cecil. We only have room for one with these character slots. And
We've already seen Iridia.
In fact, We're only missing one character check and one character, right? We have an Edward in the Giant?
Yeah, I think that has to be. I think there has to be a Spony boy.
Hookrod.
Oh, Hookrod, correct.
Hookrod has a character too. So Edward, and who else haven't we seen?
Tella, according to
Tella.
This is a long time that we've gone without seeing a Tella. That's actually kind of surprising. Hey, at least when we find him, he'll be fully powered up and probably quickly discarded.
Yes.
Alright, Korg's finishing up his Zot, going to get his silver apple for his troubles, but at least he's cleared the Earth now, and he'll probably be up to the moon. Not too far behind Rexbanner. Looks like Rex is beelining for the bottom of the moon.
Yeah, Rex is doing a good job holding on to his lead, not giving microKorgs a chance to catch up on this Earth robbing. So we'll just need to see how it goes from here.
I guess there is always a possibility that if we do find a Tella somewhere, you could keep him as a last-minute agility anchor if you weren't already using somebody else for that position.
Yeah, just depends on what you're comfortable with going up against Z. Some people really like the tried and true of having multiple RA1 Berserkers. You don't even need the Silk Webs Aromas if you've got that set up nicely. And some people are fine putting a high agility character in the middle slot to have 4 people going active, even if they are a little slower. If you Silk Webs Aromas at RA3, you can get them close to a lot of your party members' relative agility, and it can work out.
Rex here heading straight for the Masamune altar. Maybe seeing if he can spike 2 things in one, because if this is the hook, then he's done on the moon.
Do your objectives.
Do your objectives, chase your freebies, and fight some dolls on the moon.
Yeah, the hopes of a rude fight here are dashed.
The alt gauntlet here is always fun to see.
Oh my goodness, yes.
But we are going to get to see, instead of evil masks, looks like we're going to see some swag rocks. I believe I saw Medio keyed up on that Fusoya.
You did. Want to make sure that our newly acquired White Mage gets some experience from this. It's not as much. Big Doll's going to steal some of it, but every little bit counts, especially when you join the party this late.
I did not even notice that he kept that Palom. That's an interesting switch.
Porum.
Or Porum, excuse me.
Switched over, yeah. Decided he wanted a true White Mage in the end.
Yeah, she's picking up all our good utility spells here. Berserk, Blink, Exit, good time. Masamune from the Masamune altar. Is this even?
Tasty, tasty vanilla. The Edge is going to be happy to have that, without a doubt.
Oh, definitely. I think his Edge's weaponry is still a little lacking on both sides, so it'd be really nice to have some Hanzo steel for our Edge here. Rex probably going to run back and save, I imagine, and then start looking for who's hiding the key item today.
We've got 2 outs in the ribbon room, and out right next door at White Spear altar. We've got the spot up at the Crystal Sword altar, and we've got the Murasame altar at the top, and your favorite spot as well, Cave Bahamut. Could be anywhere.
Yeah, could be Cave Bahamut. There's always value in cave value, according to the NPC in cave value.
Sounds like propaganda to me.
It really does. My favorite is when they hand you something useless and then say, value in cave value, you're welcome.
A Sir at the ribbon room. Convenient that the Masamune is there, because this Masamune mutant combo is going to end up doing a lot of our work.
Yeah, this is going to be very interesting. Rex tossing a wall on her first so that her heals are reflected onto the party, and then Edge swinging for almost quad 9.
Bam!
96.
Sarah says, I know where the threat is. Let's have none more of that.
Unfortunately, Cecil's actually being a paladin in this fight and covering Edge.
Putting that cover Edge threat to work. and wisely, making sure not to parry, not to swing. Just using the crystal as an item. And if you parry with Cecil, he'll stop covering, and he also didn't want to swing and have another counterattack. Edge with his damage is all you need if you can just keep him alive.
Oh, look at that, Oscar healing a fellow white mage. How nice of her. But knocking over Fu in the process. Sorry, Fusoya.
Yeah, Fu doesn't need the levels.
He's fine. Alright, one more swing there. I believe that was 14 levels I saw on that forum, and Rexbanner is going to get two key item checks here. See if it pays off. Adamant armor in the hook.
Okay, so, you know, who knows Pigtails? We have Go Mode. We have an adamant armor for our paladin. It's time to boogie.
It paid off in spades. So yeah, time to hit up the giant, launch the falcon, and then come back and walk all the way down the moon.
You know, I don't have nearly as much faith in the Ribbon Room as I do in Sheila. I've seen some fun things happen there. I check it because it's a double. I don't have the love for it that I do for Sheila, but boy was this a reversal.
Yeah, Sheila usually has the goods. I usually like the Ribbon Room solely for the sheer amount of XP, just to shore up my party there at the end and say, all right, you're done with needing experience now, because the Ribbon Room has you covered.
Question in chat, Giant does not give a key item, but it does give a character.
Yeah, this is, we've deduced through process of elimination, this will either be Edward or Tella. Either one will probably be taken. There's the possibility of, and Judea points out in chat, of checking the rat tail for the past, but I don't think so.
Agreed. You're going to be in the whale when you finish this. Yep. If I was in the Enterprise and I had to fly over to the whale, yeah, I might be tempted. But I'm already in the whale. We're just going to talk to the crystal and leave.
Ooh, microKorgs running into the inventory boss, making sure to get that moss immunity though.
Yeah, you're not going to pass up that.
No.
But Warlink, you're right, Warlink, they do still have to do the hook route. So you do have to go to the Enterprise.
Yeah, you gotta go find it, and I don't remember if both our runners have actually launched the launched the hovercraft yet either.
I don't think either of them have.
One has. I think it's Rex. I think Rex launched the hovercraft early.
Okay.
So even the slight advantage there, setting himself up. Ooh, here's a Lunar Sparkle. Unfortunately, we know that this is going to be... Come on, Ogopogo. Yes!
Plumeria Knight, the pink tail is at the bottom of the sealed cave. So, we know that much.
Yeah, both our runners went down Luca, checked out a pink tail, and reset out of it. So, they have no intention of going there.
This isn't as rude as it could be. It's going to take a while, but it's not the punchiest spot in the world, so should be able to heal through the waves and get through this.
It's not. I mean, at least it's not the total freebie that would be Plague.
Or I'm immediately falling to a one-shot punch as I'm going on about this spot not being that scary. Well, thanks, game.
It is Porum at the end of the day. Yeah, she's up, but okay. Gonna get a heal on her, because otherwise she will go down next time Ogopogo launches waves.
Yeah. Ribbon Quest, who do we want at CPU? I'm just saying, we haven't seen an old Bonk yet.
Yep. We saw them get teleported to the Rubicon spot. They are mandatory down there.
Oh, right. We have seen it.
Yeah, let's see. We've seen DKC, we've seen Odin, we've seen... Who's really nasty when they're really fast?
Bygon.
Nice. Yes. Ground Flyer in chat, we saw Pain Man in the cannon room. Didn't even get to deliver his little, it's true, we haven't seen Golbez yet. That would just be time-consuming and annoying.
Yeah, they're rough. Rex. Rex is the one with a bunch of crystal rings, I think. So not as annoying for him.
Yeah, grabbed two out of Babel and a third out of a trap chest that he actually sold because he didn't need any more.
Right. D-Lunars. Yeah, Odin is still out in the world. Odin would probably need Masa Thunder Edge and Crystal Sword Cecil and go.
Odin was on comms.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, because Edge took care of him. Here's Bigan, though. That's fine.
It is, in fact, the Bigan.
It's gonna be nice and speedy here, and if that body hits somebody, it's gonna. I was gonna say he's gonna have some punches. CPU, I think, like Leviathan, I think ended up with a lot of physical power, but not as.
Yeah, another boss that doesn't punch and so punches really hard. But we just quick lock the arms and shred down the body.
Yeah, we've got a Bacchus up Cecil and Edge, so Bigan's body probably not long for this world.
And yeah, if we leave the arms around, they can do some rude things, particularly with vampires. But this is just straight up quick lock. Make sure the arrows point at all the arms before you cut it loose.
Or just murder him.
And you know,
in a few seconds.
done with it.
Alright. Goodbye, Bigan. For an additional infusion of 302,000 XP. Got a little arm grind there at the end, too.
And Korgs is entering the giant as Rexbanner is finishing it. Tracing in his steps right on his heels. It's going to be Z-targeting on Rex's fight. Is the wrong person going to take a hard nuke to the face? Is there going to be a high roll in the Big Bang that puts him in recovery mode? That is, yeah.
Yeah, that's the kind of things that microKorgs has to pull here, has to hope for. Rexbanner remains at least always a little bit ahead, and yeah, he hasn't shown any signs of slipping up yet.
And these runners gave us exactly what we were expecting and what we were hoping for. They've both had some divergence on the Earth, but have gone through their checks in a rather logical and efficient manner, showing off various tech along the way, and it's been a very close race.
Alrighty, Rex is, yep, there's the hovercraft on Rex's side, picked it up, gonna take that over to Cave Evelyn now, I imagine. Oh, maybe he is. He's gonna stop and check for the pass first.
He is gonna make the rat tail turn in, see what he gets from it. And yeah, Groundflower pointing out that, yeah, Crystal Sword on Cecil definitely helps with efficiency.
Just the defense.
Womp.
Would have been nice if we kept that cane, but on the other hand, didn't really cost him a lot of time just to, check and see, because then it would save it. If it would, it's the cost of that versus maybe you save yourself a trip of walking all the way back down the moon. But now the pass is somewhere in the moon, so we're going to see a Falcon launch followed by a full walk of the moon again from Rexbanner.
And yeah, Plumeri and I pointing out that there are some guaranteed whammies in the moon summon spots, so that the races don't force you to run as many of those heavy spots as it would otherwise be. Some of those spots will always be whammies, and some of them might get some key items.
Interestingly, while Rexbanner is going to finish presumably 16 out of 17, since he will not have found the pass, and I mean, we know where the pink tail is. We didn't do every character check in the game.
Yes.
You'd love to see it. So yeah, there's the alt gauntlet, lighting Edward on fire before leaving. Sorry, Edward.
I think we might still have a spoon for you, but no.
No.
But no.
We do, but then we don't really have anything else for him either. We've really found the gear to gear up one ninja and one big armor person. That spot's taken up by Cecil. So this will be a quick rundown. I can't think of anything that would possibly be at the King Queen Evelyn spot that would be a surprise rude boss for our runners. So yeah, this will be a quick run through for Rex, I'm sure.
We'll see more Edward in the brackets, I'm pretty sure. We're going to lose Cecil, but Edward's not going to take any sting from the change to brackets, honestly. I mean, Edward has always been looking for a spoon and an adamant armor. So you're less likely to spike an adamant armor the way we did in the ribbon room and rely on the pink tail for it. But I think that's going to be in runners' calculations as well as to whether or not they, say, walk a pink tail out of the sealed cave.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, even if you can find some good but not adamant gear, then you can still kit out a Edward pretty well. I believe he can wear the power shirt.
He can.
Always nice for him, and
he can wear a crystal ring, or a ninja hat, or a headband.
Yeah. He has a nice array of things that aren't necessarily adamant that he can wield alone with that spoon. Oh, there's D-Lunars. These won't be long for this world with a Holy Armor Cecil. Holy Sword Cecil, swinging for quad 9.
Shink. Shink. And done. So Rexbanner will be starting his Alt Gauntlet, and microKorgs gonna probably work through this in similar fashion, although he might need some time to revive Rosa so that she can get XP.
Yeah, we definitely want her to get some XP here, but Rexbanner's, Korgs' party members all looking nice and leveled. Everybody with a nice over 2,000 health pool. That'll be nice for maybe even surviving an unnerfed big thing, too. And here we have the Alt Gauntlet at the really good spot. Fu cleaning all these up with Quake. I don't think there's anything too threatening in this spot.
No, not for a party of this size. Like, if you're coming through here at hook levels, you might be annoyed when one of the eggs hatches on you, the last one. But other than that, we got nothing. And at these levels, that egg is not going to hatch.
Yeah, is that a green dragon in that one here?
Yes.
I remember I've occasionally had to fight those to level, although not as part of the gauntlet.
Yeah, it's the one you're looking for if you're doing a last-minute hook grind on some sort of rude flag set, assuming you're not going to try and find a sorcerer to summon infinite blade men for you.
Speaking of which.
Yeah, that's the thing about the Alt Gauntlet. For whatever area it pulls from, you're going to get to see all of its encounters.
Yeah, Korg's finishing up the giant on his side, fighting Tellan, taking the fall out of the giant, and presumably be on the way to launch the Falcon himself very soon. Cecil making an omelet out of that egg.
Yep. Flumeri Knight, I'd like your chart, please. Seems like a good chart.
Yeah, I believe Plumeria is doing math on whether the key item was at the rat tail. The pass was at the rat tail. And if there's anybody's math in the community I trust, it's Plumeria's.
And yeah, Simbu's breakdown of adding the spots matches up with my understanding as well.
Alrighty, Rexbanner launching the bad airship. Korg's remembering that he needs to get the hovercraft out first before he can go do the hook route.
Oh, Warlink, they lied to you. They told you lies. They tell you this lie, and you believe them every time.
There is always math during the races. Even if it's just simple counting. How much damage am I doing to this Cerolis? It's okay, though. There won't be a pop quiz. Rexbanner launching the whale from the unusual side of the Earth Crystal. Just for fun.
Whatever works.
Yep, Korg's also stopping at the rat tail turn in to check for that pass, coming up with a Zonk and picking it up to go launch the Falcon. At this point, though, he is an entire hook route behind Rexbanner. but Rexbanner has to walk the rest of the way down to the moon, but so does Korgs. So this is looking really good for Rexbanner if he can make it through, if he can get through the Z fight.
Yeah, Rex is at least one Z fight ahead, maybe more.
Yeah, he's pulled fairly solidly ahead. He's played extremely well today. They both have. Our runners have played extremely well today, and that's why these runners are basically one check apart.
Yes.
Oh, there's those nice early Z flags out in the chat.
The enthusiasm is real.
Yep, everybody's very eager to see Zeromus' newest cosplay.
With all of we're just gonna start this early.
Yeah, well,
we don't have much else to talk about at the moment. Rex's microKorgs is gonna burn through this hook route just like Rex did. It's not gonna slow him down. But with a lot of the things that we randomize here, free enterprise, do not randomize Zeromus. You don't try and fit Big Bangs and black holes and whatnot into the magic power script of, say, an Asura spot and see what happens. We save it for the end. It's iconic. It's classic. So that is always what's going to happen at the end. But we do like to randomize our things. So there is one other thing that we do randomize for this fight. Right, Stoppable?
Yeah, we don't just have a vanilla-looking Zeromus down here. We have a pool of over 550 possible sprites to replace Zeromus with. So we gotta wonder here, as we head down to the bottom of the moon, Rexbanner swag-walking his way past the save point even. We gotta ask, whose butt are we gonna kick this afternoon?
That is some swag. I'm sure he saved at the top of the moon before he did this, and I like his chances in the Z fight, but you can never take Z for granted. He will punish your hubris. I think Rex is fine, that being said, but this is some old. Rex is feeling behind.
Yep.
Doesn't know he's ahead.
Does not know. Yeah, you love to see it. Yep, so I believe we also, chat has some of their ancillary questions too, for some reason asking if Zeromus has a hat is now a thing. I blame the Gaia Hat group for this somehow.
We're starting to see some factions, some cartels, if you will. The Harp Cartel has been in force for a long time. Job Dwarf has his faction, but this hat faction has emerged recently.
Is the butt we're going to kick having a good day? Is it cute? Is it even a butt? Is it capable of having a butt? I've seen some very strange sea sprites.
Who is butt? What is butt? When is butt? Where is butt? Why is butt? How is butt? Therefore, art the butt.
And how long will butt take to be kicked? We'll find out soon. The crystal has been tossed. We'll reveal Zeromus' true colors. Normally gets you that ugly moon boss of a normal Z sprite. Today, instead, we have. Drumroll, please. Oh, it's a Boo! It's King Boo.
The moon was not, in fact, haunted. At least in terms of key items, but you could definitely say that the moon is haunted.
Oh no, the moon is literally haunted, but the butt is wearing a hat.
Yeah, that there is a hat, yes.
There we go. Launching into it with Silk Web to nerf the first Big Bang and also slow down Zeromus even more. Getting Cecil and Edge hopped up on Bacchus Wine so they can swing at the boss, doing very appreciable amounts of damage. Or I'm keeping food alive.
The first Big Bang is easy to nerf. You just got to trigger a counter nuke from Zeromus before it rolls out. The timing on future nerfs is a much tighter window that you don't have any visual indicator of during the fight. But with the power level going on, I'm not sure we're going to see nerf attempts from Rex.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that this is too spooky.
Just whatever you do, don't turn your back on King Boo. Don't attempt any run buffering here. He'll start moving closer, and we don't want that.
Yeah, just stare at him. It's fine. Yeah, this is pretty much a textbook, well-executed Zeromus fight. I believe it's looking at close to 10,000 damage a swing, or a cycle, excuse me. Barring no rolls here.
Yeah, even as Simbu said in chat, we're close to 3,600 on Cecil. I don't even think that the no dodges combo would be capable of dropping it.
No, Cecil can eat a big bang and keep going.
Yeah, and then a Meteor behind
demonstrated.
it. And then a Meteor behind it to boot, most likely.
Yeah, with the Adamant armor on, he stands a good chance of even dodging the party rocks here.
Yes.
But with that Meteor on Rex's side, he's almost done.
And
there it is.
And with that, time of 1:34:20, Rexbanner has made his way through this play-in round into brackets. GG's, Rexbanner.
Thank you, folks. GG's. How are you doing this evening? Or morning, I guess.
Doing good. How are you feeling?
A little bit better now. Calmed down a little bit. I was... when I had my go mode, I was trying to keep one eye on Discord and one eye on running down the lunar path.
Yeah, we saw you charge right past that save room. No stops. Says, you know what? I've got 3,600 hit points on a Cecil and an Adamant armor. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. I mean Z's. I mean ghosts.
Yeah. Felt pretty confident with, the party I had. I was anchored. I had Adamant Crystal Sword Cecil. Edge with Ninja Shirt and that. Yeah, and as you said, 3,600 HP on Cecil. I wasn't too worried about the Z fight.
Did you feel behind at that moment? Is that what prompted it? Or was it just, either way, he's already dead and just doesn't know it?
I always feel behind, especially against someone like Korgs and that. I don't know where they're sitting. That seed was pretty nice. It handed us a lot of power right from the get-go, which is something that generally not my best. I'm better at the long-haul seeds than at the here's everything you need to blow this up. So I was slightly panicking most of the seed, thinking I was behind.
Yeah, anybody who's seen you race knows you're used to kind of scrapping by with whatever the seed gives you. In this case, you picked up that Foo a little earlier than Korgs. Got that 1,200 HP nuke, I believe, 1,300. And really from there, it was just like a little accumulations of having slightly more power that just kind of put you out in front by approximately one check and kept you there.
And the only other major difference is that when Korgs ran through Sylph, he took a quick crack at the trap chests with a Quake on Palom and yanked an Excal out of it, and that kind of pulled him away from Edwin. He never ended up going back for those traps.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. He got the sort of early Excal, so he was content with it, which unfortunately hurt him a bit because we all know how ridiculous Crystal Sword Cecil is, and he is going to be missed this next set of flags.
Yeah, I hope you really enjoyed getting to take Cecil out a fully powered one too for one last spin. So, what are your thoughts going into brackets? Since it looks like you'll be playing against Infinius first.
I'm looking forward to them. I like the not as tiered good route, so a bit more of my style. I like the harder, not giving the full power. The back row glitch is going to mess me up. I wonder how many times you're going to see me back row someone and then trying to figure out why their damage is so low. But overall, I like these flags, and yeah, I'm looking forward to the bracket flag set.
Well, you're no stranger to turning in brackets. You just keep hopping into these tournaments and keep going through brackets. It was a rude group this time around to get through, so congratulations on that. Any other thoughts?
Not really. I had an amazing group, the Dragoon group. All of you, Commander, Dusty, Ultros, Leggy. Oh crap. Ultros, Leggy, Commander, Dusty. I think that's everyone.
And
Korgs.
Korgs.
Yes.
That's
I
everybody.
definitely
You
did not
named
forget.
everybody in the group that is not currently racing.
You guys were an awesome group. I had a lot of fun with this. It was a great group to keep pushing to do better. It was fun. I had a time, and just thanks to Neil Bari for the restream, and like all the restreamers, all the commentators, Warlink for pushing buttons, and then you, Unstoppable, for the commentary and that. Just, I appreciate all the work that you guys put in to make these tournaments happen. They're a lot of fun.
Hey, we appreciate you putting on another great show. We're looking forward to more of them in the brackets.
Yeah, we're gonna try our hardest against the future man of Phineas.
It's true. What does he know with his time travel knowledge? I guess we'll find out.
I need a 15-hour stream delay. That's gonna make commentary difficult.
Alrighty. Thank you folks so much, and you have yourselves a good day. And GG's once again to Korgs.
All right, thanks, Rex. Look forward to seeing you in brackets with everyone else.
That was Rexbanner, our play-in winner. Who's punched his tickets to the brackets. Not much room for error. Korgs is gonna tear through the Z fight and be about 6 minutes behind. Very close race.
Yep, he's the interview was about the length of one trip down the hook route plus one route through one route down the moon, and now he's fighting King Boo too.
Yeah, Rosa took a very high roll direct nuke, 2,200 hit points, but Boo was sitting ready with a Cure 4 to patch that up.
Yeah, that was a heck of a counter nuke. He was angry, probably because he just got beat on the other side.
Right.
That looked like an unnerved Big Bang in the name of swinging harder. But with the Fu and a Rosa here, you can keep these two berserkers alive too.
Yeah.
Not gonna be a difficult fight.
Much like with Rex, not at all worried about trying to nerf anything. And here we are already at Rocks.
Yep. Only hitting Fu and Edge, and more swing and down it goes. GG's to microKorgs, just under 7 minutes behind.
And we are joined by microKorgs. GG's.
Hey, thank you very much. GG Rex.
It was a tough group. It was a long run. I mean, the rules say only 2 people can go from each group, and that is what it is, but you put on an impressive show.
Yeah, the system did its job. 2 very worthy runners have made the brackets. I think, doesn't Rex just make brackets? So, I mean, if you're up against Rex with brackets on the line, you better not like wait on getting a Fu or maybe settle for an X-Cal. It seems like there was a little bit of a small power disparity, but really well done by Rex. And yeah, I really enjoyed my time in the Dragoon Helm group with everyone.
Yeah, it was interesting. It's not like there were any major points you could look at where it's like, here's where Korgs got a full check's worth behind. It was just little seconds of power disparity here and there. You guys put on a phenomenal set of checks where you're kind of on each other's heels for such a long time. It was really just the early Fu and a slightly earlier Cecil, and a slightly bigger hit and stick.
Yeah, and that was kind of my thought as I went along. I was thinking I didn't really struggle anywhere, but if Rex does have because I didn't mean to not go to Edlin, but I did that Sylph chest and I got the X-Cal and I decided to stop there essentially, and then I guess I tried a couple in the tower. Well, I could one shot with the the Thunderclaw, but in the back of my mind, I didn't feel like I was doing anything wrong, but I knew that if Rex had found the slightly bigger power spikes, then that could be the undoing. And I was basically hoping maybe he went an early moon, maybe he tried Giant earlier, because those might have stymied him for a bit, but nope. Rex played very well and got the win.
Yeah, and towards the end, there were a few interesting decision points that you both did identically. You both reset out of the Pinktail at the bottom of Luca K, and towards the end, you both took the quick look into Adamant Grotto, hoping to find a pass on that rat tail.
Yeah, both hook-related decisions. Not taking the Pinktail, I think, because we just didn't have the hook at the time, and sure, an Adamant's nice, but probably not worth the time. And yeah, hoping for the pass. In this case, say if the pass was there and I checked it and Rex hadn't, it still would have made the difference, unfortunately for me. But I think it's worth the little peek. So I guess that means the moon only had the hook and the pass as kind of interesting items.
Yeah, that would have to be the case.
Mm-hmm. Fitting that Boo would be at the bottom of it, even if that hook was required.
Yeah.
This does, unfortunately, bring your time in the tournament to an end, but sounds like you had a great time, which is good, and I have no doubt that we're going to see spotlight shining on Eddie on your stream in the future.
Yeah, I think back to my first race against Dusty, where coming back from the moon, I went and did Harp, and if I hadn't done that, there's probably a chance I win that and could have avoided the extra races. But then on the other hand, the extra races were fun, and being bounced from the tournament stinks, but at least now I don't have to live in a world without Adamant, Crystal Sword, Cecil's, as everyone going on to brackets must live in that world. Good luck to all of them. I'll be watching from the sidelines, rooting for very rude seeds all across the board.
Yeah, no Fusoyas either. Your parties in this one really kind of were the last ride for our two overpowered characters, huh? Minus the other matches we have today, of course.
Yep. Enjoy the difficult world that you're all going to roll for yourselves in the coming weeks.
All right, well, I don't have any further questions. How about you, Commander?
You mentioned about watching the brackets, but just in general, the tournament, the group flags, what'd you think of it?
I had taken a really long break after ZZ4, and when I started playing these flags, I didn't quite get them, and I was struggling to turn in competitive times. But then once I figured out the loot route that kind of yields the best results, I got better, and I felt pretty confident once I started racing. So I really ended up enjoying them, and yeah, definitely we'll be watching, and we'll see what else happens with Free Enterprise. I haven't been on the ladder in a long time. Maybe it's time to start some of that up again. But thanks everyone who worked on the stream today. Niabari, Warlink, and you two here in the booth, Stoppable and Commander. Thanks a lot. And I think that's it for me. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You as well.
Thank you for putting on another excellent show. Looking forward to seeing you around. And with that, the final match in the Dragoon Helm comes to a close. We do have two other races later on tonight. They will both be on the Free Enterprise channel. The Crystal Ring play-in group between Ceradan and Xenocat will be at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and then at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, the Gaia Hat play-in between Klopfer and Mike 34.
Yep, those will also both be excellent matches. So both of those will be here on the flagship Free Enterprise channel. So we'll look forward to seeing you back then.